Well, as you can see, we're not in the studio right now, we're out at Lightning Ridge. We're surrounded by the puddling dams, which is where they wash down the opal dirt to get down to the opals. That's about as much as I know. We're out here with a group called Aussie Harvest, and Aussie Harvest go between Lightning Ridge and Wee Waa and Narromine, and each of these places they have a meeting in a pub. At the meeting in a pub, a speaker, on this occasion myself, speaks about belief in Jesus. It's a great opportunity to speak to blokes out in the country about belief in God. In this segment, we're going to meet some of the guys who are involved with the Aussie Harvest dinners.
Lightning Ridge is the world's only producer of black opals. These stones were first discovered here in 1873, but their worth wasn't recognised until around 1900. From the air, you can see the hundreds of shafts that have been dug all over the area. When they're not digging, the miners sometimes build quite remarkable houses or monuments. This one even claims heritage listing. The Aussie Harvest dinners are held at the Lightning Ridge Bowling Club. Local Christians who attend each dinner can only do so if they bring along a non-Christian friend.
It's hard for me to come and chat with you guys because my world is Sydney. I work in a church as a minister, as a Baptist pastor. That's put most of you off right away. I'm still a mostly normal character. Married.
Rod Cuthbertson is the pilot and one half of the Aussie Harvest team.
Aussie Harvest goes out to Outback, New South Wales, to towns each month and have meetings in the pubs and clubs to the same guys each month to basically share the gospel with them.
Man, we're all incompetent, aren't we? Just in different areas. There are certain areas that I'm incredibly incompetent at, i.e. opal mining. Complete failure, all right? No idea at all. But you know what? That doesn't concern me, except when I'm talking to you blokes and you give me that kind of, you are a real moron look. But,
Rick is the local Anglican minister, and he finds the dinners helpful as they support local Christian groups.
What difference has the Aussie Harvest ministry made to you guys?
It's been quite good, actually. We've had a number of guys who've been meeting once a fortnight to pray and to encourage each other as Christian blokes, and it's been a great opportunity for us to actually reach out as Christian blokes to non-Christian blokes. So it's given us a forum which to meet guys on their own turf and have a speaker just talk about the difference Jesus has made in their life.
What difference are the dinners making?
Been good. We've had actually a number of guys come to church, obviously inquiring a bit more. They've got a couple of people who are interested in reading Christian books to actually discuss. I've had some great conversations in apologetic ways, defending Christianity, and also just talking to them about what the important points of Christianity as well. So they made a great, and it's also got the guys actually thinking outside themselves to invite their own mates along.
What David Myers is saying is if you do surveys of people and you discover what it is that makes you feel good about life, the good chance is that one of the things that they'll focus on is faith in life. Is it motivated partly for what you see churches not doing in their ability to reach men specifically?
How did you know that? Yes, exactly, because I think the church, as it stands today, doesn't really reach men. You know, men is very foreign to them to walk into a church. They feel uncomfortable, just as many of us church people would feel to go in a pub. They feel the same way about coming to church. So if we can take the message of Jesus to them in a very down-to-earth way, that's the way I think we can change their lives.
It's not having all the answers, all your question answered. It's not about being sure you know what you're doing. It's simply saying, hey, I need some help here. You know, it's not working out the way I want. I believe that there's a God there. I believe that Jesus is somebody special. Just want to take a step of faith.
What I do, I run a transport business here in Wee Waa, and heavily involved with the cotton, the raw cotton, and I have trucks which cart to the gin for processing.
Rick has been coming to the Wee Waa dinners for over 2 years. He was about to have a double knee operation when he spoke to us last year.
No, it's only so many hours in a day, and but it's sort of paid, you know, it's paid itself off. So I was invited along there, and just the company and a terrific mob of blokes, yeah.
So next season will be better?
I have had background with the church. I originally come from a Christian family, and that sort of swayed away a bit, you know, over the years. But this sort of brought me back, and it's been a great thing for me, yeah.
Well, we feel we're sort of a halfway place between the church and the community, and you know, or between the church and maybe the hotel community or the average guy, and it's not as threatening to people. So we can sort of take them to a neutral environment, give hospitality evangelism, by being their friends, earn the right to share our faith, and it just naturally works very well. Very well, and I believe that that's exactly what Jesus did.
Each town that we go to, we believe God's led us, but mainly smaller towns, because that's where the guys do not get the opportunity to meet, to hear good speakers, because when we go, we obviously take a speaker with us, and so they can have just as much opportunity, and we don't worry about numbers so much. It's to form those relationships with guys that would normally not have that opportunity.
I've been retired for the last 6 years here in Narromine, having lived on a farm at Tomingley all my life, fourth generation of that farm, and some 6 years ago, my wife and I decided to retire.
How did you get involved with the Aussie Harvest dinners?
I was invited by a friend of mine here in Narromine, and it quite appealed to me, and my wife was a very strong Christian and had very strong faith, and I was brought up in a Christian home, but I never followed it anything like she did, and she encouraged me, and I'm glad she did, because it's helped me through life.
Just wanted to start off with a statement, which is a bit of a compilation of a few different statements from people, but it says this: one of the great dilemmas of life is that the things that we spend most of our time focusing on do not deliver what we want it to.
We never have any trouble getting enough to have a group, and I think that's an indication that people are really, it's really getting something out of it.
All we do is feel relieved we haven't lost. And so the joy and well-being of life can be kind of sucked out of us by our expectation. We all know that there's a spiritual side of life. I don't know that there's too many people who say there isn't a God. I don't believe in God at all. Most of us believe that. Most of us believe there's a spiritual side of life, but in many situations we find we just don't do anything about it. Focus on your soul. Do something about that side of your life. Take some steps in your life that focuses on the spiritual part of who you are. Firstly, pray. Find an opportunity to pray. Now, don't be thinking, strike, I've got to go learn that prayer language thing, you know, King James English. It's just talking to God. It's just simply opening yourself up to God and bringing to Him some of the things that are on your heart. Secondly, read the Bible. Now, we've actually we brought a Bible for you to take home. Free Bible for all of you. It's called the Aussie Bible. You heard of this? Just in case you're wondering that there's absolutely no need at all for the Aussie Bible, 100,000 of these have been sold across Australia. Now, the Aussie Bible is a great way to read God's Word in a really simple kind of way. The Aussie Bible it's not actually written by Kel Richards, somebody else wrote the Bible, but he actually rewrote the Bible. Let me read a bit to you. One of the Pharisees asked Jesus to pop in for a bite to eat. So he went and joined the others in the backyard around the barbecue. The great thing about this book, is that it does what the Bible was always supposed to be. It was about how Jesus dealt with people. It's about how Jesus met with people. It's about Jesus' teaching. And it's about relating to Jesus' teaching in everyday language. And that's what's really powerful and strong about it.